So tonight is a full moon. And as we know with full moons, especially when it's the biggest full moon of the year, that's when the moon has the most magnetic pull, bringing up the stuff that we are facing here today. Have you noticed today, the last couple days, the emotional stuff that has come up for you? That'll be a good indicator as to what is coming up for most of us, as it's always very much relating with the astrology of where the moon is located in this chart in the sky. And so we have Lotus here, my partner, in the crime of destroying the negativity, if you can call that a crime. I don't know if you would call that a crime, but so we're here to help you clear some of those things that are up on the surface. And please do comment below and interact. Whether you're watching this as a recording or live, you can follow along with some of the clearings we're going to do. Is we're going to tune into the field here with you and give you some information and have some discussion. And we just came back from a spiritual retreat. We've been clearing so much things, and we always have a lot of breakthroughs with our clients and everything. So stay tuned, sit back, relax, put this on, and learn and clear along with us. Lotus, how are you doing tonight? Even though it looks like we are virtually together, she's actually in the same room with me. It's just the best setup to have on two different computers.
Right. Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I was actually really blown away because we went on this spiritual retreat with Gary Spivey, and I just have been so deep in the training that I haven't been looking at the astrology. And so here comes this full moon. And wouldn't you know that this full moon, the whole focus of it astrologically, in terms of what I'm perceiving and sensing in a really big way, is our spiritual connection to our highest self. And it is to bringing up anything that is emotionally in our way with connecting to our highest self, our truest self, our spiritual self. And so how powerful to come together tonight and work on clearing what may be in the way of this connection so that we can become more profoundly who we are.
Right, because the alignment tonight has specifically to do with that. Can you kind of let us know what that means?
Absolutely. So the moon in astrology, and I had someone reach out recently and ask me to explain what are all the planets? What do they mean? Why is it important to study them? And so each planet has a unique significance, a unique meaning, and does relate to our lives and to our ability to manifest. And the moon, which obviously is the star of the show tonight, being so big and full and the biggest moon of the whole year, it relates to emotion. It relates to intuition. It relates to our senses, our ability to feel. It relates to the home, and it relates to the mom. Okay, so moon, emotion, feeling. I always think the image when I see the moon as of a mama rocking a baby. Okay, so it really relates to our ability to feel nourished, cared for, and loved. And so it's a very deep energy, very close to our heart, right? Very, very internal, very vulnerable, you might say.
Has a lot to do with emotion.
A lot to do with emotion. Exactly. And it's tonight at the fullest peak of its expression with the asteroid known as Chiron. And Chiron, for those of you who have studied astrology and those of you who have not, relates to...
Which is this key little thing right next to it. It's a key with the kind of like K thing.
Right.
31 degrees.
Right.
Pisces.
Exactly with the moon. Exactly activating the moon. Exactly being illuminated by the moon. Okay. And the sun is always opposite the moon, which is amplifying the light of the moon.
Always opposite during a full moon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so Chiron is being deeply illuminated. And so what is Chiron? You know, it has the key, right? So that's a sign. It is the key to unlocking our deepest wounding, wherever it is found in our astrological chart or in the chart of tonight, it represents where is the deepest wound that we can then heal, right? It is the entrance to the wound.
So tonight, those emotional things for you guys that are coming up is going to be most likely having to do with what Lotus is talking about, right? So
yeah, deep.
So we have the moon conjunct Chiron, which is really activating Chiron, emotional wounding in the sign of Pisces. So what does that mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So seeing what sign the planets are in is the next level to decipher the code. This is basically a code. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what the sign of Pisces is, to describe it, the symbol is the two fish. One fish swims in this world, right? It's our material, physical, we think, we sleep, we do our daily lives. That's one fish. The other fish is the cosmic fish. It's the part of us that's connected to the spiritual, that connects to our higher self. Okay. It's that realm of imagination, fantasy, spirituality, everything that is not of this world. That can be psychic abilities, spiritual abilities, our ability to meditate, our ability to go within, our ability to connect to spiritual teachers and guides. Okay, so that's the realm of Pisces. And so when you have the greatest wound, Chiron, in Pisces, that means the greatest wound that we may be facing collectively will be in relation to our connection to our spirituality, our connection to our higher self, our connection to our ability to see spiritually, to hear spiritually, to feel spiritually. And those are all the things that we just spent the last week cultivating and growing and developing, right? And learning how to listen and hear on those levels. And for those of you out there who have done this work, you know how divine and how powerful this work can be and how subtle, right? Very subtle, very ephemeral, very infinite, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. So what might be some real life examples of this so people can, so as you start to tune in to the emotion, not just our show here, but tune into yourself and what this might be bringing up, we're going to do a clearing in a little bit to help you release some of this charge, some of this stuckness, and see how far it goes back, transcending in your past lives, DNA. Does it attract and create and bring in other negative influences that are making it even harder, right? So you're going to be able to tune to those energies. And the first thing I think about is, well, I just had sessions today. And so I'm just thinking back, okay, so people working on their spirituality and they're connecting to God and their spirit self, however that might unfold. I am recalling the last session I did where someone had a lot of overwhelm going on with their own spiritual work. They are studying really hard. They have certain deadlines and things that they need to accomplish, and they're just totally overwhelmed with everything they need to do. So perhaps that's one of her wounds that we helped clear with her today. What might be some other real-life examples of this happening?
Absolutely, Michael. And I had a client today as well, and that's always so helpful to kind of see where people are at, right? To have these real world examples.
It's funny because it always is so spot on with what you bring up in these readings and what we have come up either on the group calls or individually, right?
Oh man, yeah, it's amazing. So the first thing, Michael, that comes up is whenever I see the moon, I think close to the heart. I think deeply emotional, right? So in the feels, you might say, deeply in the feels. So emotional intensity, number one. Big moon amplifies that. Moon is emotion. So having Chiron, the wounded healer, next to the emotional center could mean that we're feeling things deeply, right? There could be tears, there could be emotion, there could be past relationship things coming up to the surface, right? because it's things that we carry close to our chest, right? Things that we carry close to our hearts, close to our feels. Okay. And so one way this might show up, I had my client earlier was working through a relationship challenge where she was having awareness and cognitions about a 9-year relationship pattern, that there had been immense trauma and abuse that she had not been able to see or recognize until tonight. And tonight was her breakthrough moment. Tonight was the night she finally was like, oh my gosh, all these things I didn't see before are coming up to the surface. And so that could be one of the things, is that patterns, relationships.
Could it be like a relationship that's stopping you from your growth?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, how many people are in a relationship where like we used to get along, but now that we've kind of grown our separate ways, they're not into what I'm into and they don't really agree with it. Now I have to kind of do it secretly, right? Mm-hmm. That might be one example.
Oh, absolutely. And what's really interesting is that because it's in Pisces and because it's the wounded healer, this could be relating to examples of spiritual sight awakening, awareness turning on, where suddenly people are seeing, feeling, or hearing, or having really vivid dreams where things are coming up to the surface that have not been visible before. And so just a lot of there could be a feeling, right? There could be a feeling in the collective of something coming up that's very deep, but there not being conscious awareness around it yet. And that can be that a past life is surfacing, that an ancestral trauma is surfacing, that something from the past is surfacing. And so when I tune into the collective, what I really feel is like a big wave of energy coming up to the surface. And yet maybe the consciousness of what it is or where it's from is still not there yet. And so there's just this feeling of intensity, but the peak hasn't been revealed. The knowledge hasn't come to the conscious mind yet. And so people might be feeling it, especially in their chest. And physically,
this is a good part. This is a good place to start. A good part to start with. Yeah. So I know that there's some of you watching live right now. Tune into maybe discovering what may be under the surface right now. And I encourage you now to rub the neural lymphatic stimulation point as you feel and allow yourself to confront something that maybe you're not confronting and maybe that you're not aware of yet, and acknowledge how you feel about what might be there right now. Even though I feel like there's something here, I'm not quite sure what it is. I still love and accept myself. I love and accept myself with who I am and where I'm at. Okay? And then next, I want you to tune into your heart chakra and do the head squeeze exercise twice. And this is going to remove toxic energy out of the heart chakra. You're going to inhale and then squeeze while you press on the front and the back of the head. Doesn't matter which hand. Tune into your heart chakra. Head squeeze. You do it a couple times if you want.
Wow, yeah.
Okay. Now, notice if you have a shift. Just those two little things. What are the emotional wounds that are now coming up, blocking your spiritual progress or your connection to God? Or there's a lot of ways you could frame and say these things, right?
Yeah, and to clarify, what are some ways that our blocks to our spiritual connection might be showing up? Is a feeling of lack of purpose, lack of direction, lack of clarity, and lack of fulfillment. I don't know about you, Michael, or everyone listening, but what I found on my spiritual path so far is that the more spiritually connected I become, the more fulfillment, joy, and happiness I feel. And the less spiritually connected to my higher self I am, the less joy, the less fulfillment, the less energy I feel. And so I really want to encourage people out there, if you're finding yourself at this full moon feeling frustrated about your current position in life, your current, wherever you're at, that could be a sign that you're not being able to connect to your highest self. And that's a big thing, is that ability.
It is. Yeah, it's huge. I mean, think about what feeling bad is. Let's just get really practical about it, because it's really about the stoppage of energy flow of who you are. I mean, we can go really spiritual about it, or you can just be, hey, who you are is not being released and is being stopped, and you have blocks to it. So now you don't feel as good, which is why you don't feel like yourself. And so the more you're unblocked, the more you can feel more spiritual, because you're more you, and that allows you to be open up to new areas and new awarenesses and intuition and things that are just very natural, super natural, really. And so the more you're released and unblocked, it's very practical. You can say it in a lot of different terms, right? That's why, today, the woman I worked with, she wasn't working on becoming psychic or something super spiritual, but it was her spiritual growth and her self-development that she was working on, that she had a block. It seemed very analytical, but actually it was super blocks in the heart, like you were saying, that she wasn't aware of, that I had to help her tune into, that we're helping you right now, right?
Right.
And so is there another clearing we can do for you guys that are actually watching as you're tuning into? What are the emotional wounds that are coming up within this full moon time, as we're activating this full moon with the Chiron in Pisces, right? What is coming up? Teresa just chimed in. She said, today felt like full of mistakes in my head. Full of mistakes. My head felt lost, but did not feel lost. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you make the chart bigger, that leads to the fact that the sun being directly opposite the moon today, we're actually very close to Mercury down there with the sun. And Mercury is the planet of communication. So that means that we basically have the planet of thought and the mind and how we think in polarity or opposite, or creating a kind of a jumble of our thoughts with Chiron, the wounded healer. So that means that our spiritual wounds could be affecting our thinking, our ability to think. They could be so big, demanding our attention, demanding our focus, that it literally is pulling us out of the mundane daily reality of just trying to accomplish work, for instance.
Yeah. Let's do a clearing right now on this. I noticed this a lot. People having a heart block and then a thinking block. It's so common. I see it so often. It's almost like we can just go straight to it and do general clearing. So clear your heart, now clear your head. So common, right? You get mixed up in your head, it throws off your heart. You get super feeling, but then your thinking starts throwing it off, and you get overreactive, and programs get activated and things, right? So Teresa, thank you for bringing that up, because that is a very common thing, and I'm sure others as well that might be watching this now or later. And so let's do a clearing for this. First, do the sore spot and acknowledge how it feels, even though, it's like for Teresa, even though today I felt full of mistakes and I felt lost, but not lost, it was weird, I still love and accept myself. I'm literally taking her statement and putting it in that framework. Even though I feel what about my thoughts and overthinking, I still deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Which is a generic phrase for you just relaxing with it. And even though it's going on, I'm chill about it. Right? Now actually focus on the center of your head and think about and focus on this field of your brain, right? The brain has a field. We call it the upper dantian, but you can think about it as that thinking field, that brain field. and do the head squeeze on exhale 9 times, noticing this overthinking. So you can clear out this mental junk stuff, these overactive thinking, the stagnant energy in the head. The more you can tune into it and become aware of it, the more you're going to be able to clear. And that's it for that. And thank you, Stephanie. She says, power couple. Lotus and Michael have helped me unleash my blocks to become more of my true self. Thank you. You're so welcome, Stephanie. Yeah. Hopefully you're doing better with your legs and your walking and things.
That brings me to another point, Stephanie. When you were... So we helped you with your feet. So the part of the body that the moon in Pisces and Chiron in Pisces rule.
Oh, that's right.
Is the feet.
It's the feet. Yeah.
It's the ability to walk. And it's like the ability to walk forwards. It's like the ability to be on our path and walking forwards on our path. And whenever I think of the feet in Pisces, I always think of the fins of the fish. And it's like, how are our deep emotional psychic traumas with this conjunction affecting our ability to move forwards? And those might be coming up to the surface today, where instead of feeling like we can charge, we're kind of feeling this watery emotional slowdown, so to speak, of just like heaviness, potentially grief, sadness, inexplicable sadness, just like this depth and heaviness. That's what I feel as I tune into the collective. It's like this very deep potential collective sadness around the emotional.
Let's do a clearing for this. So tune into your heart field. So not the heart's chakra, but the actual electrical field, the magnetic electrical field from the heart. Focus there. Tap on the collarbone point, which is just below the collarbone in between the ribs, about an inch out from the center on both sides. And then head squeeze, exhale twice, and clear out that stuff in the heart. Okay, now go to the heart chakra. And some of you that are listening or watching right now have it spinning backwards. And so rub the sore spot. Even though my heart chakra is spinning backwards with this, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, and just relax into that. It's okay how you've been feeling. We still love you. God still loves you. You're still accepted. You're not alone. Other people go through it too. Right?
So Michael, I'm getting some awareness coming.
Okay, here. Good. Yep.
So I'm tuning into the moon with Chiron, and I'm tuning into the collective. And what does this mean in Pisces? And I'm getting this overwhelming sense of past lives. And past lives in our spiritual path, being monks, being nuns, being Christian, being Buddhist, being so many different religions and spiritual faiths. And I'm getting the spiritual, emotional trauma in the collective around religion and spirituality that we may be collectively holding, that is coming up in the heart space around our ability to connect to our highest self and to connect to our highest path and to go forwards. So where has religion or our spiritual faith gotten in the way of our ability to actually connect to our truth and our highest self?
Okay, with that thought, thinking and considering you may have a block like that, as a lot of us had a lot of past lives and doing a lot of, especially if you're attracted to our work and other work, especially with energy clearing, you've likely had many past lives of doing spiritual work and having wounds there. So tap on the side of the hands, focus on that, and say, my heart chakra is spinning correctly. My heart chakra is spinning correctly. Okay. Okay. Tap underneath the arms and the collarbone. Rub your sore spot. Lotus, tune into the field for us and acknowledge it.
Ooh, is everyone ready?
Ready.
Okay. Even though I feel like my spiritual truth has been suppressed for lifetime upon lifetime upon lifetime, I still completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel like my ability to truly and fully express my being has been suppressed by people in authority who are above me spiritually for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, I still completely love and accept myself. Even though I have not felt fully safe to express my full spiritual beingness and truth on this earth, for lifetime upon lifetime upon lifetime, I still completely love and accept myself. Even though I've felt deep and profound grief around my connection to God, my connection to my higher self, and my connection to all that is, I still completely love and accept myself. Even though I have felt like I could not hear my own connection to God or source, and that I've had to go through others to get there for lifetime upon lifetime, I still completely love and accept myself.
Okay, tap your chin, collarbone, back of the hand. We're confronting the pain and releasing the depression. Head squeeze, exhale twice. Blowing out those energies and memories. And then go ahead and tap on the side of your eyes. I will always be over this.
Always be over there.
Collarbone, I am always over this.
I'm always over this.
Okay. Tune into your crown chakra. Tap on the side of your hands. My crown chakra is spinning correctly with this.
The crown chakra is spinning correctly with this.
Good. Deep breath in and out. Carlo just chimed in 3 minutes ago. Michael and Lotus are the best. Thank you, Carlo. We appreciate that. Stephanie shared how her pain went down. In the past, my feminine feeling stuck and overwhelmed, and my masculine feeling overworked. Now I'm balancing thanks to you. We are transmuting religious trauma, now coming true spiritually. Man, we did a 3-day workshop a few weeks ago, or maybe about a month ago. It was all about clearing like the Spanish Inquisition and the Knights of the Templar being persecuted and different persecution. We actually Lotus did a lot of work on finding these documentaries that had these graphic scenes of torture and things. And if you ever want to wonder what happened in your past life, what are you so get so triggered with and re-stimulated with, what makes you feel so like affected, right?
Yeah.
If someone has like an injury or loses blood, and you just like, I mean, I had a thing where I would faint, right? There has been times where I was killed and tortured and things like that, and so it's re-stimulation, right? And so religious trauma is a major area, especially if you're on a path of improving yourself and connecting to God and your spirit and things, because there's a huge fear there of survival because you've been persecuted possibly in past lives, right?
Yeah. I noticed, Michael, when I was watching the video footage, I was realizing what my chronic PTSD had been most of my life. As I watched the videos, I started having the flashbacks and memories returning and going,
Right.
wow, that explains some of the PTSD I had gone through.
Right.
And it was very purifying, very clearing to face it, confront it, and clear it with this method is so powerful. And as you were speaking, I just got this might be another really good focus to just run through a little round here around feeling persecuted for our ability to connect to our higher selves, right? Like, if I connect to my higher self, will I be killed? Am I like, is it safe? Is it
Right.
safe to connect?
Yeah. If you were burned at the stake or you were killed for doing your work, even being a Christian, right, and being taken out by it, even today, they don't want you being Christian and try to make fun of you and all these things, right? And so this continually goes on. Would you lead us through a clearing for that, please?
All right. Yeah, let's do it.
So Lotus is a powerhouse. She connects to the oneness field, and I really encourage you to follow along with her and just listen and tune into what she's going to bring up, because she has quite the ability to tune into the field and see and hear and experience past lives, even your past lives, and it's quite special. So,
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I'm honored to serve in this way. I think I can really feel all of you. I can feel all of us, and what this astrological event is an opportunity for a miraculous healing
yeah.
as we face these deep things.
Which,
Yeah.
by the
So
way, if you're watching and listening, I'm doing corrections for you because I can tune into your field. Okay, I can tune into all of you who are the 9 of you that are watching live, and those of you watching the recording. Okay, we're tuning into you and doing clearings for you. So as you're here, you're getting that energy. Go ahead.
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to invite everyone to just tune in to everything that's being brought up, right? So we've already said quite a lot. And so if you're sitting there watching this, you're probably having things rise up to the surface, right? So I want you to tune into that. Tune into your own body. Bring your attention into your body and notice where in your body are you feeling the charge? Where are you feeling it? When we talk about feeling safe to connect to your highest self, like really feeling good to connect to your spiritual higher self. Tune into that. Where do you feel the block to this? Where do you not feel safe to have this? Okay. Where in your body is it? Tune into that. If you want to share it in the chat, that's awesome. Just breathe in and out, get in touch with where this is in your body. Okay. And as you tune into where it is in your body, go ahead and tune into what color is it? Does it have a color? Does it have a tone? What is that color? What is that tone? Good. Take a deep breath in and out. Tune into it. So we want to really amplify the feeling. We're really amplifying what's being brought up. We're tuning into the intensity in the field. We're bringing it up to the surface. We're holding space for you. Okay. So tuning into that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands, and your hands, actually your heart center is located. There's a point right in the center of your hand, and all of your meridians and organs have acupressure points on the palms of your hands. So we're going to rub our hands together, actually.
And the reflexology points.
Reflexology points. That's right. Right. Yeah. So you're going to rub your hands together. It's going to start creating some physical heat and spiritual heat. And it begins to create like a magnet where you tune into what you're feeling inside. And then you also tune into the sensation of your hands rubbing together. Good. I want you to feel into your body where you're feeling the intensity in your body. I want you to think about feeling safe to connect to your highest self. Good. Notice what number are you at around that. Are you at a 10 with feeling safe to connect to your spiritual self? Or at a 5 or 4 or 3, 2, 1? 10 is yes, I'm 100% safe to connect to my highest self. 0 is I don't feel safe at all to connect to my higher self. So rubbing your hands together, you're breathing in and out, and you're tuning into where do you feel unsafe to connect to your higher self. Where is that feeling? Where is that vibration? Where is it? You might be feeling a lot of heat. That is spiritual heat. There's a lot of spiritual healing coming in right now. So if you feel the heat, that is feeling. Good. Take a deep breath in and out. It's already starting to shift. It's already starting to transmute and transform. Take a deep breath in and out. That's good. Focus on feeling safe to connect to your highest self. Feeling safe. It's easy to connect. You can connect. It's easy. Rubbing your hands together, allowing all the old memories, thoughts, feelings, emotions in the way of you feeling truly safe to connect to your higher self. Breathing out. Whew, feeling the energy starting to move, starting to shift, starting to transform. That's right. Martha's doing some corrections as I'm clearing. Deep breath in and out. Good. I want you to expand your energy out 5 feet to the left, 5 feet to the right, 5 feet above, and 5 feet below. Expanding your energy. That's right. Tuning into feeling space to connect to your higher self. That's it. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. God, by the power of God, by the power of Source, by the power of the Creator of all that is, it is commanded that all blocks in the way of you feeling absolutely 100% safe to connect to your highest self. All blockages, all trauma, all drama, all persecution, all oaths, vows, promises, fealty, penalty, commitments, contracts, findings, and swearing from this lifetime or any other through your DNA, through all source fields, through all directions of time and space, it is commanded that all blocks to you feeling absolutely 100% entirely safe, connecting to your highest self, feeling that connection, feeling tuning to it from this lifetime or any other by the power of God, by the power of Source, by the power of the Creator of all that is. It is commanded all this trauma, all this drama, all this torture, pain, loss, etc. in the field be allowed to release and clear. We command it to release and clear on the core, deep breath in and out, on the genetic, on the soul level, deep breath in and out. Hope you're rubbing your hands along. This will increase your success with clearing this out of your body.
It's like you're taking all the energy you're feeling and you're putting it into your hands and transmuting it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So commanding all that stuck, dense, old energy, you might find yourself shaking your head out. You might find yourself yawning. You might feel stuff flying off of your energy field.
Yeah, we have one. Stephanie says she had a very vivid vision of being burned at the stake and her feet and her chest on fire before I pass out, which is where I'm currently feeling numb, my feet to my chest. Thank you for transmuting.
That's right. So feel all that trauma, all that drama, all that pain, and we command it now by the power of God, by the power of Source, by the power of the Creator of all that is. It is commanded that all past life trauma, especially all past life memories, be released and cleared out of the source field. We're going to tune into the memory body, into the waters of your body. The moon affects everything with water. So we're tuning into the waters of your body. Everything's up on the surface. It's the perfect time to transmute it, to release it, to clear it. It is commanded that all those past life trauma memories of persecution in the way of you feeling 100% safe to connect to your highest self be allowed to release and clear. We command it to release and clear on the core, deep breath in and out, on the genetic, on the soul level. We command it to be pulled and resolved on the historical level. We command all these memories, all this trauma on the cellular, etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies to be allowed to release and clear, releasing and clearing on the core, on the genetic, on the soul level, commanding it to be completely pulled and resolved on the historical level, seeing the trauma releasing, clearing, transmuting, and transforming through all levels and layers, through all directions of time and space, through all levels and dimensions, through all the 10 dimensions, releasing and clearing all dark energies, attachments, demons, anything dark in the way of you fully and effortlessly releasing and clearing this stuck, dense, trapped trauma out of the physical body, out of the cells of the body, out of the DNA, out of the source code, out of all of the chakras and the dantians. We command it to release and clear on the core, on the genetic, on the soul level. We command it to be pulled and resolved on the historical level. Deep breath in and out. And replaced on all levels with the Creator's truth and definition of pure unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, peace, calm, and the healing balm of Gilead going in to heal all wounds, anything and everything in the way of you finally and fully releasing and letting all this stuff go. We ask for complete change history, and everything is needed. Bubbles 1, 2, 3, deep breath in and out. focusing on compassion, focusing on healing, coming in, coming in, and showering you all with the pure golden light of unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, peace, calm, being your God cords, being filled with golden light, your higher self being filled with golden light, your physical body being filled with golden light, your past life bodies filled with golden light. Anything in the way of that, we ask for complete change history, and everything is needed. Levels 1, 2, and 3. Deep breath in, deep breath out, shake out your hands, brush over the top of your head, shake out your arms, brush off your bellies. I'm just asking for pure, unconditional love and light to shower over your field, filling you up, filling up your dantians, filling up your emotional, etheric, mental, emotional body. Pure, unconditional love and light.
Ready? So imagine, see, hear, feel, experience, call in your body filling up with light. Who you are, right? You're connected to God. Think about that. Tap the back of your hand as you imagine, see, hear, feel that. As if there was a light coming down from the sky, from the heavens, from God, straight down to you. And as you tap on the back of the hand, that's going to help you keep that focus engaged to actually make that full connection all the way down. And then tap your collarbone as you're focusing on this. This is a very profound exercise. Good. Now, with that light, allow your spiritual body, your energy body, be filled with light from your feet all the way to your head. If there was a light from God that shined down and reached you and filled your being with light, what would that feel like? What would it look like? How would it sound? And again, tap the back of your hand as you envision this, replacing the light with the darkness that we just cleared out.
Replacing the darkness with the light.
Okay, let's help you out. Keep that same vision, filling your spiritual body up with light, connecting to God. Head squeeze, exhale once. Then tap your collarbone again. I am always filling my spirit with light from God. Or with light. I am always filling my spirit with light. Okay, good. Okay. You guys got more blocks so you could make this even stronger, right? Okay. And so third eye chakra, for those of you who are having a hard time seeing this, envisioning this, you guys have a reversed third eye chakra spin. And so think about filling your spiritual body up with light, filling your spirit up with light, and allowing yourself to envision this and just acknowledge how it might be hard to see. It might be backwards. You might see the opposite, right? You might get a distorted vision of this if you have that, if you're in that category, or you want to make this vision stronger. Tap on your collarbone. Focus on your third eye. I am always even better at filling my spirit with light. Now, notice how the subtle feeling of light starts to fill you. And I feel someone just got like their kidneys lit up. Like a warmth on the back of where the kidneys are. Someone just got that. Or maybe multiple of you. Okay. And there's still more to go here. Okay. Now your crown chakra. Some of you get your crown chakra spinning correctly with this, and it's hard to connect to God, right? There's blocks to God. There's blocks to connecting to light, which is very common. And so it's okay if you have that feeling or that block. So again, when you do the head squeeze exercise on inhale, you're going to squeeze on inhale, and you're going to focus on your crown chakra, allowing light from God going into your spirit. 3 times. Okay, if you can keep that focus engaged while you do it. Now think about it again. As you're calmer, you're clearer, and notice how it's easier to envision, see, hear, feel, picture, imagine that happening. Okay, and what you imagine is real. It's a real energy, right? Some of you can see it, right? Some of us can see when you imagine something and a flash of light just appears next to your head, or an orb of light flashes out of your body. It streams out of you when you have an idea. Thoughts are things, right? We've heard this before. And as you envision it, it actually becomes real. I mean, what is manifesting, right? Oh, that's right. It's real. Very good. How was that for you, Lotus? And thank you for that clearing. Yeah. You really dialed it in.
Woo! Way to go, everyone.
Carlos says his head feels lighter. What does that mean? My head feels lighter. The darkness is gone. The light is more there. You're more in your head. Let's go deep into that one. Teresa says, I feel so nice and warm now. Thank you. Yes, thank you guys for following along and being with us here tonight. Full moon clearings. Powerful.
Yeah. Can I explain why they're so powerful?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the moon affects everything with water, right? We've been at the ocean. We felt our feet in the sand, and we the tug of the pull, right? Of the tide. Well, when the moon is full, what does it do to our bodies? It pulls the water in our bodies up to the surface. Okay. And water holds the memory of all of life. So every memory we've ever had is held in the waters of our body, even the memories of the collective field that aren't even ours. And so when the moon is full, it brings all of that up to the surface, and suddenly we have access. Instead of it being deep inside, right? With the water is kind of more buried, we're more internal. It's all up on the surface. So this is the best, most powerful time to skim off all of that excess stuff and clear it on out of the field.
Absolutely. Very cool. Maddie says she feels like her shoulders lightened up too. Fantastic. Carlos said more light, less darkness. Teresa said, I so manifested this clearing. I was asking for this when I made my mistakes at work today. Yeah, there's a common correction when you start to feel clumsy, you're dropping stuff and you're kind of knocking into things. That's a very good sign. You want to do some clearing, specifically the collarbone breathing, actually, to help get to correct the neurological disorganization, if you can. Carlos says, it's like a pillar of light just showed up. Bam. There it is. There it is. Oh. Very cool. All right. Well, we have some other things that we need to do. And so any other things you want to share before we end? We really appreciate you guys joining with us. Go to energyclearingmastery.com if you want to sign up for some of our workshops that are coming up. We have nothing scheduled right now. We're just coming on here to share the love with you guys on a full moon. It was mainly Lotus's idea because she's so tuned into I don't even realize what's going on astrologically a lot of the times. But so thank you, Lotus, for getting us on here.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
It's such a gift to be here with you all. I can feel all of your energy all the time, and I just love you. We love you all. You're beautiful, and we're here to uplift and serve the world. Yeah, it's an honor.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that, happy full moon, everyone. Much love, and we'll see you sometime in the future.